SuperNOVA Randy here, and today we got something pretty special for the channel here, I think. We're going to be building a computer to give away to someone. Haven't fully decided how we're going to do the giveaway here yet. And in fact, I might release this video after we do the giveaway. We'll see once here. But we got some components, some of which were donated. And the person that donated these asked to remain anonymous, but I just wanted to give a big thanks to this person for donating these components. Some of them are mine and some of them were his, so we just kind of filled in the gaps there. But anyway, like I said, just a big thanks to that individual. Like I said, he asked to remain anonymous, so big thanks to him. So anyway, let's get started with what we have here. We got a GTX 1080 Ti. Probably not going to put that in this build. A little bit lower end build here. Seems like a shame to put a card like this in this build. So what we're going to do instead, I think, is put the GTX 1080 in it. So we got a 1080 here, just a regular GTX 1080. Case, of course. We got some 16 gigabytes of DDR4 RAM. We got a 512 gigabyte M.2 solid state drive. This is going to be an AMD Ryzen system, by the way. You can probably tell by the Ryzen box here. Ryzen 5, this is the 1500X, I believe. Yes, 1500X Ryzen. Just a couple fans there. EVGA 750 watt power supply. And then finally, a Gigabyte AB350 Gaming 3 motherboard. I don't know if there's anything a whole lot fancy about this, but the box definitely looks cool. And just a, what is this? This is a Thermaltake case, so not particularly fancy here, but should get the job done. And I'll put as much information as I can in the description, so if you want to know more information on these components, I'll try to list all these in the description there if you want to check them out. So anyway, let's get started building. Okay, we'll start by opening up the case here. And that's what the inside of the case looks like. So we got a spot for a fan down here. There's one fan already in here. Is there one in the front? It doesn't look like it. Cables for the front motherboard I/O there. So first thing I want to do is probably get it set up for the motherboard. Again, Gigabyte AB350 Gaming. This is a Ryzen motherboard AM4. Set that thing, grab the hardware stuff all under here. Okay, I might need the book depending on the pinout configuration. We'll see once here. And top of the box always makes a great spot to work on, by the way. So there is the motherboard. Kind of a cool looking with the red and black theme, if you ask me. Okay, so we need some hardware here. Where is our hardware? There it is. Screws and standoffs. Doesn't look like any of them really come pre-installed, or do they? Let's find out here. Okay, let's just see what we have here a minute. So yes, it does have the standoffs are all set for there. There. It looks like we need one to be installed there though. So let's get one in there. Double check, make sure that's the right spot here again. Yes, it is. And there isn't any other, is there? Because there's one here. I don't see any other spots for it, so that looks like that should be good. We'll just push the case out of the way here for the moment then and start on the motherboard. We can put our RAM, CPU, and hard drive in here. So again, AMD Ryzen 1500X CPU. Comes with the cooler, and according to the reviews, I guess it's a pretty good cooler. I was gonna look at sourcing a different, better cooler for it, but supposedly this one is pretty good. So it's like, well, if it's pretty good, we'll just go with it. There's the CPU and a little sticker. Yes, AMD with all the little pins on the CPU. Intel's the opposite, by the way. Okay, so typically there is a corner marked. Hopefully the camera will focus on that. And then there'll be a corner marked on the motherboard as well. So that's right there. So corner to corner. Drop it on. Should seat in. Close it down. Perfect. And we'll just take the sticker out for the moment. And let's see what we got for a cooler here. Looks like it comes with thermal paste already applied on the bottom. And from the looks of it, I think we're going to have to take this off because it looks like these thumb screws are going to turn into the motherboard. So we're going to have to take those off here in a minute. Okay, we'll just take these 4 screws out. And is there a back plate under here? Yes, there is. I would have thought that cooler there would have snapped in with this current design here, but I guess not. And for the cooler here, might as well have it sitting up like that so the AMD's right. Oh, no, wait, we cannot do that. It needs to be either like this or like that. I'm thinking probably like this, because the headers up here are for right there for the CPU cooling fan. And this appears, like I said, to be thermal paste already applied on the bottom there. Oh, I'm going to need a different screwdriver to get in here, aren't I? They are thumb screws, but I cannot, well, I can sort of turn them. Let me get a different screwdriver. Okay, screw these down. Screw them down until they stop. And we might as well plug this in right away now before we forget. And that's just going into the CPU fan header there. Next we can do the RAM. And again, for the RAM we got some cores there. Vengeance DDR4. 2 8-gig sticks of it. And this is probably the single most expensive, well, outside of the graphics card, this is the single most expensive part of this build here. Quite surprising, the RAM is very expensive for some reason. And usually when you're not filling all the banks, there is a specified way of installing those. So let's see what the book says here in a moment. Per the book here, for installing 2 RAM modules here, we can either put them in 1 and 2 or 3 and 4. And if we go back to the layout here, looking at the layout, this one is 1, this one's 3, this one's 2, and this one is 4. So I think we'll go ahead and go with the red for this, so 1 and 2. Let's see, it's going to go in like that. Basically push down until the tabs snap back up and lock in. go. And next, for the hard drive. For the hard drive, we got a crucial 512 gigabyte M.2, meaning it is going to mount on the motherboard here. So this is your 512 gigabyte solid state drive here. Yes, this whole thing is the hard drive, solid state hard drive. And let's take the little screw out here. Oh, I'm going to need a smaller screwdriver here in a moment. That appears to be size 0. And that's just going to slide in like so. And by the way, this little piece here can move in and out depending on the length of your M.2 drive. This one actually came set right to the right length for us, so perfect. Okay, there we go. I think our motherboard is ready to install here. Got to put the motherboard in, connect the motherboard up, put the power supply in. I'll have to find some sort of CD-ROM drive because our copy of Windows here came on a disk. I know you can get Windows on a USB drive too, and that's what I was thinking, but this one is on a disk, so do not have a CD drive here at the moment. Put the rear I/O panel in here. And I like it when they come with this little bit of extra padding on the back there. That's kind of nice. I'm assuming, yeah, that's the way it's going to go. And in goes the motherboard. And it'll be the finer thread screws here that are going to go in there. There are finer threads and coarser thread screws. I think they do that just to mess with you. But the finer thread ones are going to go into the motherboard. And very easy to drop them too, I might add. For the next step here, let's get the power supply installed. This is a 750 watt. Should be more than big enough for the components we have here. And EVGA is typically known as a pretty good brand. Instruction manual, who needs that? So a bunch of extra. I think this is like a semi-modular, semi-knot. So depending on which ones we need there. See what's on here. What do we have here? We got a motherboard. We got a motherboard. Is this motherboard? No, this is VGA. We got another VGA. Interesting. And there we go. Motherboard 8-pin, which I think is actually everything we need, believe it or not. I think. We'll find out as we go here. So, question, big question. Fan up or fan down? I'm thinking fan up. There's not a whole lot of space here for down. There is a filter there. Does that actually line up? It does somewhat, but not very well. So I'm thinking we go up. And then it lines up with the writing as well. And screws for the back. Some nice black screws here to match the color of the case too, I might add. Works out pretty nice. Oh, we'll take the back panel off here so we can run power wires out the back, hopefully. There's the big one. I think that needs to go in right there. And as for, nope, not that one, the CPU one, I don't know if this is going to be long enough to reach through the back and all the way up or not. We're going to find out here. It appears to be just long enough. Okay. Doesn't look like there's no spot up top to run it through. Otherwise it'd be nice. Oh, there is one there, but that won't get you to the motherboard though. So that's not going to work. VGA, there's 2 VGAs. We only need 1 actually. So we'll just run these both out the back as well. The one will maybe just tuck in the hard drive tray there. And this needs to go probably about in that hole there. So, again, CPU one up top, main motherboard, and then VGA one. And this one you just, we'll just tuck you down in here. And like I said, I don't think we need any other ones. And back around to the front side, let's plug in the motherboard. I don't know why they still come this way yet, split apart like this. Are there actually any motherboards that actually take them that small now anyway? I think pretty much all the motherboards, I think this is 24 pin if I recall correctly. Put that one in. And this one needs to go all the way across over here. Curious, there doesn't appear to be any fan mounts on top, so I do got a couple extra fans here I want to put in here. Obviously don't want to just go with, just got one on the rear, one on the power supply. Like I said, I don't see any mounts up top, so I'm assuming hopefully there's some out front. We can at least put another fan or so in the front there. Kind of tuck that down in there. That's going to kind of be stubborn. Oh well. And then we also have a system fan here. There's a spot for it right there. We definitely don't need a wire this long. So we like tuck this under the fan here. There, that don't look too bad. And then of course this will be for the GPU, which I think we can put in at this point. So again, GTX 1080 here, Nvidia. And looks like we need to remove one more. Oh, these got to be bent out, don't they? Okay, interesting. Oh, looks like we actually got to bend out one more here. There's one missing there. That doesn't actually line up with anything, so there we go, and that will lock in, by the way. And just one single 8-pin port. And I do believe we have everything, at least for the main components here. And let's see what we got for. Whoa, okay, everything comes apart. Look out. What do we got for fan mounting options here? So assuming that went in here somehow. Yep. So it looks like we can mount a couple fans to that. We have two 120mm fans here. Hopefully, it looks like we can fit 2 of them in there. We're going to find out. And there is, I believe, another header up top for a fan, so we'll see if we can sneak in there for that one. Now, how do these mount on here? Looks like some sort of quick system. That doesn't appear to work very well. Okay. Oh wait, there we go. Maybe. Something not quite lining up right here. There we go. And then there's one more header down at the bottom here, so we'll run that one. Let's see. Probably like that. Both of these are going to be pulling in. There we go. That actually wasn't too bad. Also comes with Molex connectors on them too, so if you're out of fan headers, plug them in that way. But we're going to try to avoid that if we can help it. There we go. And we'll sneak that one in up there. And like I said, there's an optional CPU one here. And another system fan header down here. I don't think there's any more along this side here. If there is, oh, maybe there is. Let's take a look. There we go. Ah, there is. Okay, we'll plug it in there instead then. System fan header. There we go. So perfect. System fan header 3, system fan header 2, and this is probably system fan header 1 there, yep. And then there's an optional CPU out there. I don't exactly know what that one's for, but it is up there. Okay, now we got all the front I/O stuff here. This will just kind of tuck this down in between there, down to the bottom. We got an audio connector, which I don't know if you can see that. There's an audio connector right down there. I don't know if these wires are long enough. Maybe I'll route them back behind if they are. Let's try that here. Got the front audio header in there, and I was able to route them down behind. Now we got a USB. This is just regular USB. Let's see what's here. Where's... Oh yeah, so there's two USB regular ones down here. And then a USB 3.01. That goes in the big USB 3.01 there. And there's like one pin missing on all of these, by the way, so you just gotta line up the missing pin. There we go. Seems like there should be another standoff in this corner here to hold that motherboard up, but there's not. And finally, all the front I/O buttons. And for all these front buttons and lights, actually, too, we got this cool little connector. Starting to see more motherboards coming with this. You can plug them all into here, then you can plug it into the motherboard, so you don't have to sit here trying to figure out which one on the motherboard it is. So hard drive, plus and minus, goes in there, snaps in. I'm actually going to split these apart just a little more so they're easier. And then we need reset, so reset switch. It's going to go into there. Power LED plus and power LED minus. Don't know why these come separated. Not sure about that one. We might have to... Those don't seem to be sitting in there real well. Okay, and then finally the power switch. We might have to put those power LED ones in last here. And with that, we have everything installed here, so I think we're ready to close the covers up and turn it on. Okay, pardon the shaking camera here, just holding it by hand, and we're going to plug it into power. I am going to borrow a monitor from my current computer into there. I'm going to borrow my computer's current mouse and keyboard and plug it in here as well. And moment of truth. Fans turned on. Too bad there's not a front window on this case. You could actually see the motherboard in there. It looks like it does have an RGB light, or just, I don't know, maybe it's just a red light on it. I'm not sure. And we got a display. Yeah, it's not, yeah, blah, blah. Okay, that's just the... But yeah, we don't have nothing installed on it, so that'll be the next step. And with that, everyone, I think we'll wrap up the video here. As you can see behind me here, it's the top monitor, by the way, that the new computer is plugged into. Just waiting to install Windows on that. I'm going to take care of that off screen. Not much exciting to see there, just installing Windows. Have to put a CD-ROM drive in it yet. Actually, I've got a USB external one. I'm probably going to use that. Hopefully that'll work. And we'll get the old Windows installed here. So that'll do it for the build here. Again, I'll try to remember to put all the links to the stuff I used in this computer in the description if you want to check those out. And like I said, this will be a giveaway computer. Not sure yet if I'm going to release this video before or after the giveaway. We'll see once here, but I'm sure somebody will hopefully enjoy it. Like I said, it's got a GTX 1080 in it, so that's going to make one sweet gaming computer. So that, if you folks have any comments or questions, be sure to leave them below. And as always, thanks for watching, and until next time.